Okay, so good morning guys and welcome in Cartagena. We're now standing at the gate, the entrance point to the old historic city. This city is the most touristy city in all of Colombia, and you're gonna see why. It's absolutely beautiful inside. I am also with my friend Maria. Together we're gonna check this place out. I'm looking forward to it. Look at this. This is the clock tower. The Swiss actually made that clock because the Swiss people, they're very good in making clocks. So they got the Swiss to do it. This is pretty cool. Okay, so this gate used to be the only entrance point to the city, and at night they sealed the gate. They had a little bridge and they pulled up the bridge. There was water in front of the gate, and then they closed the gate because in this city, in the old historic city, there used to be only rich people living here. Very, very rich people. The colonial people, the military, the generals, right? The religious people. Well, I guess many people were religious, but the religious leaders, they also lived inside the old city, and they were a little bit scared of the poor people, the normal people that lived outside of the city. So for that reason, every night they closed the gate so that the poor people couldn't kill them in their sleep, which is well, it says something about the balance between poor and rich back then. Okay, so we're now at Plaza Bolivar. This is Bolivar, the person that freed so many countries in Latin America, and he has a square in literally every city you go to in Latin America. This is the one in Cartagena. It's right in front of the palace of Inquisition, the Inquisition palace. And the Inquisition was a little bit tough in Cartagena. They used to have a wall actually with a little hole in it. And if you suspected anyone of being a witch, you could just write that down on a little paper anonymously, and then you throw it into that hole, and then the Inquisition would visit their place, right? And they would say, "You're a witch," because someone said that you're a witch anonymously, right? So you could basically, if you didn't like anyone, you could just write their name down, throw it into the hole, and then the Inquisition would visit them. And it wouldn't be like they would try to figure out if you were actually a witch. They actually just believed instantly that you're a witch, and you had to prove that you were not a witch, which was very hard because they looked at your weight and your height, things that you couldn't really change that fast. Look, this is the little hole where they just threw in the papers if you suspected anyone from witchcraft. That stopped, the Inquisition stopped at 1811, at the same time when Cartagena became independent from the Spanish colonialists. So of course they got rid of that instantly as well. Parece muy bueno. Gracias. Okay, so right here we are at Café del Mar. This is a place that is very popular every night because from here you can see the best sunset in all of Cartagena. And if you don't have money to enter Café del Mar, you can just buy drinks in the supermarket, or there's also street vendors that sell cold beers, cold drinks right here on the wall. And then you can just go to this corner, which is not part of Café del Mar. Actually, at night they circle this, right? They make it private, and then they seal the rich from the normal people. But you can go to this corner. You can see the same sunset with a nice cold drink for maybe 1/10 of the price. So one of the things you can do is let yourself be driven around in a horse car. Very fancy. I feel like Cartagena is a very fancy tourist town. It's not like Santa Marta where everything is just raw. Santa Marta felt more like one big open market, but this is really touristy. You have like people selling paintings on the street there. You have people selling fruit here, people selling snacks literally everywhere, and it's like really catered for tourists. All the buildings you see, or almost all the buildings, are hotels and restaurants, because if you actually want to live here, like make a home here, then it's gonna cost you, because they told me that inside the old city the prices of per square meter are the highest in all of Latin America. Okay, so there is one curious thing going on in the city, and that is that the balconies always have these spikes on the side of the roof, right? And they used to do that because they thought that it would scare away the witches, because witches are flying around the city on brooms, and if you had those spikes here, this one doesn't have them, but this one has them. This one also has some spikes. They believe that those spikes would catch the witches, right? Or cut them, or just scare them away. That's why you see many of these houses, the rooftops have spikes, which like obviously work, because I didn't see any witches in Cartagena yet. So okay, so this church is named after this man who got a statue of him, but he didn't want the statue to be on a pedestal, so higher than other people. That's why they're directly on the floor. And this man is famous because he was a priest from Europe, and he came here and he saw that there was a lot of slaves being traded in Cartagena, because Cartagena was one of the main hubs of commercial marine trading in the Caribbean. So of course that also included slave trading, sadly. And he saw that and he was like, no, I don't like this. I'm gonna buy a few of these slaves, maybe not a few, maybe a lot. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but he bought some, and then he kind of like set them free. He didn't treat them like slaves, he treated them like equals. That's why some actually argued that this man, I'm gonna look up his name and put it right here for you to see, but this man is supposed to be the first person in history to fight for the human rights. That's pretty cool. Right here in Cartagena. As I said, this city has so much history. It's such an interesting place to make a video, especially for me, because I'm so passionate about history. Now let's go there. That's the Bastellian. That's where they that's like on the wall that surrounds the whole city. And this is one of the Bastellians, right? This is where they put all their cannons and where they have soldiers posted 24/7, I guess, to protect the city, to watch the bay of Cartagena, and in case of pirate attacks or privateers, if they wanted to come close to the city, they started shooting those cannons. Now this wall and these Bastellians, they weren't always here. They were actually constructed because first, Cartagena was a very popular trading place, right, as I said, and then there were a bunch of pirates that attacked the city a few times, actually, not just once. And after that, the government decided, okay, maybe we should build a wall, because pirates really like to come here, take all the valuable stuff and then leave. And then they built this wall, which is a pretty good idea. They also built a fortress. I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but actually no, you can probably not see it from here. But there is one big fortress. I will, if I get the chance, I will take some shots of it later on, maybe in another vlog. But they built a fortress on the other side of the city, and then this, the old city, they just surrounded it with a big wall, and some of these Bastellians, very cool. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you learned a little bit about the history of Cartagena, and I hope that you come check it out by yourself if you get the chance, because this is absolutely a beautiful city. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome. Ciao, ciao.